project that's going to make money for the Sri Lankan people. It's not a loan that balloons out bilateral debt. It's an actual profitable project that's really based on private sector investment that we are supporting as well. Lastly, I would say part of what Sri Lanka really needs is all of us to be there to help support its sovereignty. One of the ways that we are doing that from the US government is by providing patrol boats to the Sri Lankan military. And we are also this year set to deliver a King Air aircraft that will help Sri Lanka to patrol its coastal waters. Lastly, on security, through Mira's work and others, we have this Indo-Pacific Maritime Domain Awareness Initiative, which is a complicated way of saying we're going to provide free, near real-time commercial satellite data to countries around this broader region, including in South Asia. And in South Asia, we're doing it through the Indo-Pacific Information Sharing Center that the Indians have created. This is going to be transformative. This will help countries to figure out how you defend yourself against piracy, against drug trafficking, against illegal fishing. So just to circle back to where I started, Sri Lanka has made this amazing, sort of historic comeback. How did it do it? It did it with a little help from all of us. Thanks.
That's great. And I think that collaborative element and all of the initiatives that we've seen reinforce that. And I guess that, and then the question is it a better proposition? I often look at the 5 pillars of the strategy. The one that stands out, of course, is free and open, because that's the one that really doesn't happen without the United States and its democratic allies and partners being, driving something, and that might be the part of it that's a better proposition for the countries in the region. Great. Camille, let's turn to across that line. We're not going to call it a line of actual control. We're just going to call it a line between your chairs.
Friendship bridge.
Yeah.
Right, yes. Well, I also want to join in thanking USIP for hosting us and for all of our friends from the diplomatic community and the think tank and academic community for being here today. And as Mira noted, I like to take every opportunity to celebrate anniversaries of the Indo-Pacific strategy, or really any opportunity that I can to speak about it, because I really do believe it is the guiding light. It is our roadmap for what we are trying to achieve in the region. And as Mira highlighted, really the key principle is that the challenges facing the region are so significant that no one country can address all of those problems or challenges alone. But when we come together and pool our collective capabilities and resources, then we start to get at really building that collective capacity to address the challenges of today and also tomorrow. So that is really what we are focused on. And as we marked the 2-year anniversary of the release of the strategy on this past Sunday, a number of agencies across the U.S. government released fact sheets outlining particular accomplishments of the Indo-Pacific strategy. So we have a very lengthy State Department fact sheet, which I commend to you all, but I'll mention just a very small number of highlights from the fact sheet that we put out. The first thing that I want to note is that we have really focused on building up our diplomatic representation in the region. We know that being present physically is a huge driver of what we can achieve in the region. So we have expanded our staffing around the region, and we have opened new embassies in the Solomon Islands, in Tonga, not in my region, but crossing the friendship divide here, I will mention in the Maldives as well. And we look forward to opening a new embassy in Vanuatu in 2024. And we are in the process of discussions with the government of Kiribati about our intent to open an embassy there as well. Mira mentioned the Quad and our elevating the Quad. As many of you know, the Quad has both a leaders level track and a ministerial level track, and we cooperate closely across those various tracks and all of the working groups. But at the ministerial level, we have held 6 ministerials just in recent years, and have delivered through those discussions and the ongoing work of our experts a number of key deliverables to the region, including humanitarian assistance and disaster relief, a framework for how we will cooperate in delivering that in a time of disaster. Dawn noted our work in the maritime domain awareness space. We have launched a number of programs in the education or fellowship space, and many others that are demonstrating the way in which the Quad is able to deliver really tangible benefits that match the priorities as outlined by the region itself. We've also launched partners in the Blue Pacific in order to support the priorities identified by the Pacific Island countries in their own 2050 outlook for the Blue Pacific. And then I want to note that we often